Welcome to Sailing in Thongs and Jandals, because we're an Aussie and a Kiwi who set sail from New Zealand on the adventure of a lifetime.
We aim to bring you raw, honest footage of events as they unfold, so we can share our journey with friends, family, and you, if we haven't met you yet. So thanks for watching. Let's go sailing.
So we just left Mooloolaba, got through the bar okay. Tried to anchor up outside the bar. We're going to stay there for probably, I don't know, it's midday now, we're going to leave at about 4 o'clock, but she's pretty rolly in that little anchorage spot, so we've opted to pull anchor, hoist the sails, and we're going to head to Pancake, which is about 240 nautical miles away. So that's, yeah, we'll leave now, 2 nights at sea, and yeah, but this wind is pretty much on the aft quarter now, and it's supposed to be on the beam, so yeah, the weather's always right out here, not, but here we go.
And we are mooning along, seeing lots of 8s, probably averaging about, I don't know, 7.5 maybe. It's good. It's what we were hoping for. I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't pick up too much, because this is just really comfortable. Off for this trip to really give the wind vane steering a good crack and let the air flow over the blade nicely, but 2 hours in, the wind vane steering setter upperer man is developing a migraine. It's not a good start. So Patsy the autopilot is on the job. You can see Huey the wind vane in the background just kind of dangling around. That's not actually locked on yet. Got a few rain squalls coming through. They're actually taking the wind rather than giving us wind when they do come through. A migraine is not just a headache, which is what I guess before I was down I thought, oh, a bad headache. It's so much worse. I tried to ask him some questions before just about putting the wind vane steering away, and he can't even answer the question. His brain is just scrambled eggs right now. He is no good for nothing. He is really out of it. He can't even answer any questions. So it's 4:30 and we would normally reef overnight anyway, so I'm probably going to be, I guess, solo sailing, and so I'm going to put my reef in now by myself, which has never been done before. Normally it's a two-handed job. Dion's still in that state, so we are all reefed up for the night. A little bit of shorter main. I'm just putting some dinner on. Ticking along nicely, apart from very sad about not very well husband. I am looking after him, not just filming him. Getting dinner underway. We're having stir fry. Well, I'm having stir fry. Good speeds under reef, still doing, I don't know, 6s. See you in the morning. The wind picked up a bit overnight, as it tends to do.
Oh, good morning, sunshine.
5:30 in the morning, made it through the night. The sun is just rising. And my poor darling has been very, very sick. He's not moved. He can't move. Overnight it was just me on watch. So at this point I had woken up every 15 minutes all night to check the boat, the weather and my surroundings. Can you imagine being sick in this environment? I got that pole that setup done all by myself, only thanks to the fact that we arranged the pole, so now it's up the mast. I would never have been able to do that by myself 6 months ago. It was tricky, but I can do it. Woohoo! Not sure how long it's going to last though, because I think we're going to have to tack over to port soon, jibe over to port. Should probably shake the reef out of that main, but I just want to keep it balanced and easy while it's just me on my lonesome. Day 2 of non-stop vomiting. We're coming in through the Curtis Channel. It's the same channel we came into when we first cleared into Australia, coming into Bundaberg, except this time we're going a bit further north to Pancake Creek. Well, we've made it into Pancake Creek. It's a beautiful but windy day. We actually came in at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's no bar crossing per se, but we did have to get into the channel and hide up in behind the hills. So we dropped anchor about 2:15 and then just left it there in the middle of the channel until the sun came up, and then we've moved down into the proper anchorage area. So pretty happy to be in here. Dion's just in bed, but I have kept him alive. Well, he's kept himself alive. And he's on the improve, which is good. We've got a couple of days of sort of 30 knot winds coming up, so it'll be a great place to stay here and get some shelter and hopefully do a nice walk. I'm guessing the pancake anchorage part is because of all the pancakes of sandbars that stick up. And that is the channel entry we came into at 2 o'clock this morning. I knew we were going to end up here in the dark because we left 4 hours earlier than we planned to, so I had all the times worked out so that we'd arrive in daylight, and then we went out the Mooloolaba bar at high tide to anchor in the bay, and we anchored in the bay and it was miserable. It was so rolly, so we're like, oh well, we'll just get sailing and see what happens when we get here, which worked out all right because it was an easy entry for somewhere to do in the dark, and we had a beautiful full moon up.
We're in Pancake.
How's that, eh? Rotating view. Fun fact, this is Queensland's only internally accessible lighthouse, so I'd better go check it out. breezy out there today. Jenny Lind Creek. That's the other side from our anchorage. This is really beautiful. I'm sad Dion's missing it while he's recovering from his migraine. But he needs his R&R at the moment, so I'm going solo. Hi. How are you? Bye. Sailing for us includes constant planning and replanning and plan A, B and C. Where are we going to go and when? What is the weather forecast? Is there a big swell? Is it pouring with rain or potential for lightning? What are the tides doing and what tide can we enter an anchorage on? And what anchorage is that? What's the holding line? Depth, and do we have enough food, fuel, water, gas? And when we arrive, can we actually land the dinghy on the shore, or is there rocks or a reef in the way? Is there any cell phone coverage to update the ever-changing forecast, or do we need to record the long-range forecast? And so on and so forth. Here we are now with a pretty typical situation in Pancake Creek. When we came up here, we thought we had a couple of days of high winds where we anchored here, and then a beautiful forecast to go out and check out the Bunker Group, which is a reef system off the coast. It includes Lady Musgrave, Fitzroy, Heron and Northwest Islands. And so the plan was come here for a couple of days and then go out and cruise that beautiful group with some great weather. But the weather forecast has of course closed in. Now there's a forecast for pretty high winds, even in the long range forecast. So we have to make a decision about whether we wait that out here and hope for the best, or if we use the winds while we can to start cruising up the coastline, which means we have to follow the headlands and stay along the main coastline rather than going out to the reef lines that we want to anchor in. Decision made. We're staying. We were so close to leaving. The dinghy was actually already on the deck. So now we're going to put it back in and stay here at Pancake Creek for a little bit longer, probably another 5 days, in the hope of getting to Fitzroy Reef. 10 days of waiting to get to an idyllic location. Such as cruising. That's the bit you don't usually see. This is attempt number 2. Find the leak. This time we're going with taking the entire ceiling lining off to get a really good look, because we've resealed the windows and that ain't it. Evidence of mold. That's where our leak's coming from. That is from the 80s, so not too bad when there's just this one sort of mouldy leaky patch that we've managed to make down the bottom here, which might be because we fitted the pole to the mast and now there's a pressure on it when we're sailing on the racking section just there, which is what we're looking at. That's our bit that's snapped off and leaking. So we've tried the windows, not the leak. We've tried the track for the baby stay, not the leak. It's the frame, we think. Found the culprit, can't really tell. There's a screw that's gone into the fiberglass, that's not helping. But it's these fittings here, which is deck fittings, but we need new bolts and resealing those. That is all the mast wiring. That's dry. Whoa, phew, that part's good. The culprit. We thought we were so clever because we put the pole up the mast, but the fixing point here has more pressure on it than it ever has before, and so this leg is the one that's snapped and leaking. Have to say though, It was my saviour while I was sailing here and Dion was sick, because it is the one and only time I would ever have been able to put that pole up by myself. It did its job. I love it up the mast. It's great.
We got it stuck. The socket's stuck at the ceiling.
And don't underestimate the drying out and cleaning. Vinegar, that's where it's at. Vinegar stops mold. All the bedding's drying out and Dion is finally going to have some fun on that wing foil. It's playtime!
Haircut day. It's a bit long, so I thought I'd better get a haircut. Shorter now.
There we go. Look at his luscious locks. You're welcome.
Next up, we finally head out of here for Fitzroy Reef.